Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 311 Griffin YouTube channel. I saw a question or situation online yesterday where somebody was having some trouble locking targets or maintaining target lock in the F-15E Strike Eagle. So I wanted to put together a really quick and dirty video about my process, how I do that. So that's what this is. I do owe somebody. I've had a request to do this same sort of a video for a GPS guided bomb delivery tutorial, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. So if that's you who's made a request for that, I apologize that I haven't done it yet. I will try to do that at some point. I just keep forgetting about it. So what you'll need to do if you're watching this video and you're getting this information, this is just my workflow, and I'm not going to go really in depth. So what you'll want to do is you're going to want to set your controls up and know which controls do what for you, because they may be different than mine. I'm going to be using just the controls as they're labeled in the sim. You might also want to dig a little bit deeper in some other videos. I got all of this information in my workflow from Nutso, from the pre-release videos. It would be very helpful probably to you if you're learning this to get a little bit more information about how the different things work, specifically about the radar modes and what they do and things like that. So with that being said, we are cleared hot. Let's get started. Okay, so let's look at our controls real quick. You are going to need in your Axis commands, you could do this without Axes, I think, but you're going to need your TDC slew horizontal and vertical in some way, shape, or form. And then you are going to need your TDC switch press, your auto acquisition forward and aft, you'll need them both. And you'll need your auto act switch press. You're going to need your weapon mode cycle switch aft and forward to switch between your different weapons. And you're going to need your weapon release, obviously, and your trigger, and your castle switch left and right, depending on which side your screen's on. So our air-to-air radar is on the left. We're going to castle switch, and that should be along, I think that's long over to the left. Our radar is on, obviously. So we're castle switching to the left to get that screen. We're going to take command of that. Now we can slew our TDC around. And we've got a contact up at the top. So we're going to slew up there in front of it, and we're going to press the TDC press button, and it goes into mini raster, and we're going to slew over the top. And you can go forward or aft on your auto act switch to go into TWS mode. They go into different modes. Now I've got auto down here in the lower right, so it's just going to auto acquire any contacts that it can once I'm in track while scan. So I've got two contacts bugged now. I've got my primary and my secondary, and you can see there's an arrow up on the top, so I've got some more contacts that are just off my B scope that might pop in here in a minute. So you also saw that there was a jam situation going on. That was the boxes coming down the screen. I believe the radar's burned through them already. I've not had a lot of experience with jam targets. You can home on jam, but anyway, I think I've already burned through the target. So here comes the other contact. It just popped up, and my system already bugged it. So now it looks like there's another one up there, and I just built this mission real quick. There is another one up there. There it is. It came into full. Full view, I guess. So, and it's already bugged. I didn't do anything. I slewed the cursor over it, but I didn't really do anything there. So while we're getting closer to the targets, let's talk about some reasons why you might have targets disappear off your B scope or lose contact. There's probably a bunch of reasons why. We're going to go ahead and master arm so that we're ready to fire here. But there's probably a bunch of reasons why you might, but in my experience, it's either your target's too small, too small radar cross section, too far away, or it's beaming you. It's in the notch, the radar notch basically, and the system will try to keep up, but maybe it can't. So, or you might be too low and there's a bunch of ground clutter. The contact you're trying to bug might actually be ground clutter, things like that. So, and then the last thing would be if you're having trouble maintaining contact. We're gonna push down here, build a little bit of speed up, and then we're gonna fire at this guy. But if you're having trouble maintaining the contact, what you might need to do is get into different radar mode, because if you're Fox 3, if you are in a really wide scan and you're doing like a 4-bar or a 6-bar scan or something like that, Fox 3 on the second target, and I've got something else I need to talk about that I forgot already. You might need to be in a narrower scan, less bars, so because the radar's scanning across too much sky and it's having trouble updating that contact. You might need to update it faster. So that's what I'm saying there. I forgot one control. You'll need your coolie hat, because you bump the coolie hat up to switch between your designated targets. Okay, so don't forget that in the controls, coolie hat, and it's not going to auto bump to the next target. You have to do it with the coolie hat. So the other thing that you noticed right there, and I'm sorry, a lot's happening quickly. I probably should have paused and shown some stuff, but you saw the targets on the left were flashing. I had them bugged, but they were flashing. It's because they were leaving the narrow scan that I was doing. And we've got two, not splashes, but the missiles hit. Those guys are dropping their bombs, and they took hits. It just didn't destroy them. It hardly ever does. These targets I had to rebug because I lost them, because they got too separated. They got off the left side of my B scope, or of my radar scan, I should say, and so I lost them. So I've had to reacquire, which meant that I dropped, my missiles were close enough to the other two, the first two I fired at. I used the auto-act press to drop those contacts and then rescanned over here and did the same process over here. Fox 3 on the leader, coolie hat up to get the secondary. We're going to turn onto our lead queue and Fox 3 on him, and then we're going to follow these in. So I know that was a lot very quickly. So feel free to back up the video and kind of watch it again and ask me any questions if anything didn't make sense or if I went through it too fast. But the basic concept is you're in a search mode, not an auto-act mode or anything like that, but you're in a search mode. You see a contact, you kind of scan the sky and watch for contacts. You see a contact, you slew up close to it, TDC press, slew over it, get the contact, and then if you want, go into TWS, track while scan mode, with auto-act forward or aft, either one. There's a splash. Oh, I think the other one already hit. So these guys are still flying. The missiles don't always kill stuff. It happens, but we got 4 hits out of 4 fires. That's the scope of this video. That's all I really wanted to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and chase these guys down with AIM-9s and guns and things like that and try to kill everything. But Fox 2 and then we'll see what happens. I believe that one's missing, but Fox 2. Oh, he missed. So I think that covers everything, though. Know your controls. You can learn a lot more about the different radar modes and the scans and things like that if you just dig into it a little bit. Also, in these kinds of engagements, I usually leave my labels off, but I guess I don't really need to explain this to anybody, but I left them on here just so it was a little bit easier for the viewer to know what was going on. I also didn't do a good job of situational awareness because this was just a kind of a how-to video. So too close, I'm switching to guns. I scared him. Ha! He's gone. So I think that's it, though. I think that's it. I hope it's helpful, and I hope it helps you get on target and get the contacts bugged and have a little bit more fun in the F-15 Strike Eagle. This thing can really be a beast when it comes to BVR. Um, it's got a lot of power and a lot of advantages. So it is fun to use once you kind of figure it out. But just keep those things in mind. You might need to tighten up your scans. You might need to change your approach a little bit. If you got too much clutter, you might have to get closer if the target's small. Um, things of that nature. In any way, it's a lot of fun to use. And you'll notice what I was saying about ground clutter. I'm close to the ground here, and so I was picking some up, and still am. I'm still picking some up, and it's a little bit harder to get on target. So there we finally got a lock. I tried a couple of times, but I was getting a lot of clutter, so it was harder to pick up. Okay, for real, I'm done this time. I do this a lot where I'm playing the game and I start thinking of other things I can say. So I apologize for that, but I hope it helps. Happy flying. Thank you for watching. Take care.